Hey guys, it's Roscoe again, and I'm joined this time by Mike from Mike and D versus the World on my space coach. Why don't you give some links to where they can find your channel?
Well, just check us out on YouTube. Just what do you write? You just have to type in Mike and D versus the World. YouTube, you'll find us. You'll find loads of episodes of me and my co-D D talking about all the things that you'd love to talk about in our unique way. But we're here for you, Roscoe.
Yeah. Right, and just before we kick off the main event, a couple of corrections from the previous episode. I said Orion was going 4,600 miles up there. It's 3,600 miles up there.
Big difference.
Well, you know, some people are really picky.
They are.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, also, and I mentioned about gumdrop capsules, you know, and they're always the same. Add to that list Apollo, Mercury, Gemini, I think. Soyuz, or is that like a bowling ball? Yeah. So, too many gumdrop capsules. Anyway, that's over and done with. So, let's begin the discussion.
Okay, yeah. So, again, thank you for inviting me. So, I understand we're going to be talking about Bigelow.
Yes.
Okay. So, what I really want to know is what is Bigelow and why is it so important, as I've heard you talk about before, to the future of manned space travel.
Right, okay, Bigelow Aerospace, very interesting company. It's founded by a guy called Robert Bigelow, who's raised in Las Vegas, so he's a little bit crazy anyway, and he's a complete UFO nut. I'm telling you, he's just mad. He actually bought a ranch where UFOs had been sighted, and the conspiracy theorists say he's actually got alien tech that he found there, and that's why he's building these habitats. Anyway, that's Robert Bigelow. Check him out. He's nuts. He's like, what is it? Howard Hughes. He's the modern Howard Hughes.
Okay, so just to clarify before we go on, you're saying a mad UFO nut.
Yes.
With lots of money.
Yes.
Is integral to the future of manned space travel.
Well, why should today be any different? Okay. So, right. What he's doing, he's founded this company back in the late 90s called Bigelow Aerospace. And that came about because he was at NASA and saw there was this tech they were developing for expandable habitats. Expandable.
Like
inflatable.
Okay.
Well, like balloons, except really, really hard. Made of Kevlar.
Kevlar.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds military.
Well, what isn't? So anyway, due to budget cuts, as always, this got cancelled by Congress. So he decided this is tech, it's too good to just let go to waste. So he licensed it from NASA, and he's now building these capsule habitats. Right. He's already launched 2 of them. In 2006, he launched the Genesis 1. It's still up there. In 2007, he launched the Genesis 2, and that's still up there. And in July next year, he's launching the BEAM, the Bigelow Expandable Activities Module. Mentioned this in the previous episode. Okay. And hopefully that will go without a hitch. It will go up there, it will get docked onto the station, it will go expand. And then basically they're not going to go in it for 2 years. The astronauts up there are going to open the door every once in a while, make sure there's no holes, everything's hunky-dory, and then they're going to close the door again.
Can I ask a few questions on the expand? I mean, that sounds quite amazing. So it's gonna be obviously a condensed size when it goes up. Yeah. Inside some sort of rocket capsule.
Yeah. So basically, it's all condensed around the central core. Everything you want in there is already pre-packed and folded away. Once it launches on any sort of rocket, really, SpaceX Falcon, ULA Delta, or whatever, anything like that, it will get up to its altitude and then it just expands. It's like these compressed gases get released and it just goes...
Yeah. So what, air, oxygen,
I don't know.
Helium?
Gases of some sort.
Okay, just to get it to that size.
Yeah,
okay.
And then it's as hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock. Well,
pretty
much. Kevlar.
Kevlar, yeah. Okay. Kevlar's pretty hard. The ISS, it's basically tin can, not much thicker than a tin can. This, it's at least a foot thick.
The ISS is thinner than a tin can?
Oh, no, I mean by comparison.
By comparison. Okay, that would be worrying.
Yeah,
okay,
well.
But, you know, that's good. The ISS has been lasted quite a while, so I'm confident that this Kevlar capsule, expandable capsule. So, there's a few up there already. What are they doing?
They're just orbiting. They were like the proof of concept, so they got launched to say, yeah, this tech actually works. They're going to be up there for about another 6 or 7 years before their orbit decays and they come back down again. But by that time, I'm sure his other modules will have launched. He wants to launch, it's called the BA330. 330 cubic meters of space, which is at least half the size of the ISS.
Okay.
And it can
really
carry 6 people. You know, that's the entire crew of the ISS. And you can put as many of these together as you like.
So it's like Lego, like stickle
It's exactly
bricks.
like Lego, Meccano, stickle bricks. They just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. If you have enough of them, say, I think it's 10, you could put them in a circle and then just start spinning it round. And artificial gravity.
Artificial. So
Yeah.
you won't even need to go back to Earth. You've got gravity.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the scenery would be limited.
Yeah.
But, okay, so this is quite interesting. So are these things going to be just orbiting the Earth, or are they going to be sending them on other missions?
Actually, orbiting the Earth to space stations, hospitals, hotels, the usual sort of thing. Bigelow wants to put one at the Lagrange points, the L2 and the L1, the one behind and in front of the moon. He wants to put 3 of them together, fly it down to the surface of the moon, and have it as a mining base. And there'll be many more of those if the first one is successful. And also, you going to Mars in the Orion capsule? Are you going just in that capsule? You'll need a bit of space, otherwise you'll end up Mars having killed each other.
So, if we have the Bigelow, no
Much
cabin
more
fever.
space. No, less cabin fever.
Less
anyway.
cabin fever.
Yeah.
You might just throttle each other. You may not kill each other.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's fine.
And the 330 is not the smallest thing he's got, the biggest thing he's got planned. There's the Olympus.
The Olympus. That sounds-
2,100 cubic meters.
Give
16
the viewers
people.
an idea of what.
Right. The beam would be
2,100.
like this. The 330 would be like this. The Olympus would be like this.
Okay, so would that be like the size of an airship?
Huge.
Okay.
They haven't
The size
even
of
built
a
the rocket
747.
yet that could launch it.
Can they build a rocket that big?
Well, a couple of people, the SLS supposedly could do it.
Okay.
The Falcon Heavy could do it, and the one that he calls the Raptor, that is in the pipeline.
He does sound like a madman. He's got
No,
something-
that's Elon Musk. The Raptor is one of his upcoming rockets.
Sorry, Elon, you're not a madman.
Well, you are, but I mean,
I wouldn't say that too.
what
He's quite
space billionaire isn't a madman one way or another?
Eccentric. I'm gonna
Eccentric.
sit on the
Eccentric.
fence
Yes.
on that one,
Yes.
because He's Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's
So
probably watching
anyway,
me now.
yeah. About the Bigelow modules, apparently there's a lot of interest. A lot of governments, Japan, Sweden, the UK,
Okay.
for one, and a bunch of others, Australia, Canada, I think. It'd be a lot cheaper to hire one of these modules for a year and have all your people in there than it would be that you're contributing to the ESA and you get one astronaut for 3 months every 5 years if you're lucky.
Hmm. Not a great deal.
Not a great deal. So lots of nations probably thinking about sticking up their own little capsules. Was it the advertising campaign, Bigelow's Maximise Your Place in Space?
Okay, that has a ring to it.
Yes, I'm sure they worked on that very hard. You should go over to their website, www.bigelowaerospace.com, and check out some of their stuff. They've got a really cool video on their corporate plan that obviously involves launching the 330s and the Olympuses. It talks about who their clients are and what the benefits are. It's really interesting. Fascinating company. I reckon, you know how people used to call all vacuum cleaners Hoovers and any kind of sticky backed plastic as sellotape?
Yes.
They'll just call space stations Bigelows,
Bigelows.
I reckon.
Okay, well, that seems like they're quite integral to any terraforming
Definitely.
projects on Mars
Definitely.
or the Moon.
Oh,
Or any other
and
planet
the
that
more of
can
them
get
you
to
put up there, the more ships you've got to launch up there. You need to send 4 a year to one habitat. That creates other markets, and just like the fuel, you know, extraction, spin-off benefits, fantastic stuff. More of that, please.
Okay.
More crazy
more-
space billionaires.
Yeah, more capitalism.
New space.
In space.
More capitalists in space. Weyland-Yutani, hey, building better worlds.
Okay, I'll take your
They
point.
might even have done that once, but I don't know where.
Maybe we don't want to.
We don't want to know. Anyway, I think that's about it for Bigelow Aerospace. One
Yeah.
last thing, you know, who wants to go up and visit one of those little habitats? Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Maybe they'll even stay there.
They'll need another one for her ass.
Ah, very true. An Olympus.
An Olympus. That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Roscoe on my space couch with Mike. I hope you enjoyed the show. Feel free to leave comments below, and as always, peace.
Peace.